Top stocks on our radar this morning. I'm starting off with HDFC Life on my list. It's a thumbs down because of the news flow that has come. The company is facing a data breach. They were informed by an unknown person about personal information of certain customers being shared publicly. The person shared this information with the company with a bad intention is what they're saying. A detailed investigation is underway. They've consulted with security experts to determine cause and take action. Impact is being assessed. Now, it might not have a huge balance sheet impact immediately, but data breach is a big issue and continues to be a big issue. So it's not the best situation for HDFC Life. You might see a bit of a negative sentiment there more than anything else. The other two that I'm looking at as a pair really is Swiggy and Zomato, in the news every other day. But UBS has initiated coverage with a buy on Swiggy and a target of 515 rupees. They say they're well positioned for growth at 35 to 40% discount to Zomato. They expect room for valuation discount to narrow as the market stabilizes. They see signs of market share stabilization post Q1 of FY25 and set to benefit from rapid growth in the industry. They also say that estimates that they will grow at similar rates as Zomato in the next few years. But remember, they as the relatively cheaper stock in the space, UBS is excited about Swiggy. Zomato, meanwhile, has opened its 8,500 crore QIP offering on Monday. They set the floor price for the QIP at about 3% discount to the last market price, 265.91. And what they will do with the proceeds is they will establish dark stores and warehouses for Blinkit's expansion, for advertising, marketing and branding efforts, investment plan in tech infra, including cloud capabilities. They've also decided to liquidify their step-down arm Zomato Internet, but it anyway had no active business. Now, generally a QIP or any kind of fundraise is a dilution of your equity, so it's seen as a negative. But in Zomato's case, I'm saying that it could be seen as a positive because of the use of funds and because that stock is on such a hot streak right now. So we'll wait and see how that works out. The third one that I'm looking at is Acme Solar. Poor set of numbers that have come in, at the fag end of the results season. Revenues are at 259 crores versus 323 crores, about 20% down. Operating income at 220 crores, also 23% down. Margins are at have shrunk actually 85% versus 89%, and net profit at 15.3 crores versus 38.6 crores. So revenues have been impacted because of muted power demand during monsoon season. Margins are down due to increase in manpower expense, and their first half capacity utilization factor is also up 5.5%. We will be hearing from Acme Solar later on NDTV Profit. But those are the first three that we're talking about today.
Got a few more, Tamanna, and I think I've picked up a bunch of counters that are largely positive. I think Sajid's got a point in Zomato, which we'll talk about in a minute. But let's quickly talk about a few other earnings. The earnings season has, of course, weaned off, but Sagility, which was a recent listing on the exchanges, reported numbers. Numbers were better than what the street has expected. I guess the expectations weren't too many out there, but very strong numbers. Revenues grew 21% at 1,325 crores. And you've got profits that have also significantly jumped by 235 crores to 117 versus 35 crores. So this is the first quarter that they've reported to the exchanges post-listing. The counter will be one to track. It did go home at the day's high point with a significant rally coming in the last few minutes of closing yesterday. So this is one that I would track closely in terms of a reaction. Premier Energies, and of course, we've talked about how with the stability in Maharashtra and the landslide victory that has happened, infrastructure companies will gain significantly. The reason being that order wins that were stuck in the winds in so many ways will now move ahead without any delays on back of continuity of government. So expect the next few days to be heavy in terms of big big orders being given out. And on that line, Ashok Bilkon has received a letter of award for a road project with 1,391 crores. 20% of Ashok Bilkon's book comes from Maharashtra. So it's a key beneficiary, and those numbers are there for everyone to see. So anything that was waiting on the sidelines is being awarded very, very quickly as we see it. Ashok Bilkon could be reacting positively to that news flow this morning. Premier Energies, I would watch out for this one too, and they've been bagging orders for the last couple of weeks and months now, and it's had a pretty fantastic run since its listing. Post earnings, there was a little bit of correction that we saw, but could be back in the foray with, of course, a 1,087 crore order coming in from two large independent power producers and one other customer. Orders also include 964 crores for solar modules and 123 crores for solar cells. So Premier Energies on order wins and Ashok Bilkon on another significant order, and Sagility on good earnings. Those are the three stocks that could be gaining quite well in trade. I'm going to quickly add one more before I hand it over to Tamanna for a list. GE Vernova. Now there is a block, just like you're expecting a block on Zomato and GE Vernova. The promoters are looking to sell a significant chunk, 5.5%, with a green shoe option of 2.9%. So net, they could sell closer to about 8.5% to 9%. It's an OFS between November 26th and November 27th. The OFS price is set at a huge discount. So you will see GE Vernova reacting negatively to that news flow on back of a significant sale OFS coming from promoters, Tamanna.